sure there's going to be a lot of people who said, I predicted exactly what the score would be.
I know, so I'm going to be one of those.
Probably me
Didn't
too.
post anything in chat, but no one's going to do research. I'm like, hey, I got it. That's what
true.
I said. But, yeah, here we are. We're watching
go,
them.
baby.
I'm excited.
I'm stoked. I really am. I'm incredibly excited to watch how this quarterfinal is actually going to go. We got Aydan and Theifs facing off against half the Greenwall Fortnite squad in Dramas and Marz. It should be a fun one to watch. The chat, as well as ourselves here on the desk, have made our voices known who we think is going to walk away with this game. And it looks like for both of our teams, all four of the players dropping significantly early, and it looks like they might have their eyes on Retail Row.
Retail might be the area. We've talked about retail in the past. It can be a very volatile place. It's one of my least favorite spots to land just because of the randomness that you can run into.
Yeah.
You never know where you're going to get shot from all the different angles. But this is where everybody's going to be going, all four full sends. And I know one guy in chat did say they're all going to die off the start. I hope that's not going to happen.
Well.
So, but if it is going to happen, it may happen in retail. But it's to be said, already eliminations going down. We're going to see Marz. He's going to drop one player. He's going to kind of get kitted up as they're going to be just looting this residential section. On the other side, though, Theifs, he's going to get a knock himself, plus a full elim. Looks like a solid start on both ends.
Yeah, so much to watch right now. We discussed Retail Row, how popular of a place it is, a very high-level POI, a.k.a. place of interest. So with that comes quite a few players, as we're looking at quite a few of our players on screen right now are going to be trying to get as many resources as they can, trying to find some chests, some ground loot as well. And it looks like, from my knowledge, a pretty decent setup right now for Aydan. He's got that blue pump shot along with the rare SMG. And it looks like Aydan toward the top side of our screens is going to get yet again another knockdown as well. Shots beginning to echo right now for OG, as there's going to be a few players up top on these shops. As it looks like one knock comes in, the other one as well. As that should be 3 eliminations right now for OG off the break.
I am watching two talented squads wipe all of retail within, the first 2 minutes of this game. It's absolutely crazy how quickly people are going down. Drama's in a little fight.
Oh.
He's going to get tagged up. 38 health. He's got to be a little bit careful. Marz himself is getting tagged up, so both of the OpTic boys are going to be in a little bit of trouble. Luckily, Dramas does have a med kit, and he has time to pop it. And he's going to go ahead and get that be back up to a crisp 100 health. Marz, he's going to be dipping out, trying to juke out one of the opponents that was just up ahead.
But Marz didn't have any mats.
He did
either.
not. He did not. So that's going to definitely play into effect.
And nice pop shots. As it looks like Theifs decides to go ahead and pretty much just bounce on in and takes away one of those elims. What a savage play coming in from Mr. Faze. Theifs, as like a thief would, it steals the kill out from under OG's nose. As, like I said, kills and, or rather eliminations in Retail Row aren't easy to find, especially when you've got 4 talented players like this roaming around.
Aydan also got some eliminations there, too. And where's all the players at retail? They're all gone. I'm going to go ahead and calculate it. We got 6 for Aydan and Theifs. Still more coming. Looking at the OpTic boys, they're sitting at 4. That's a total of 10 eliminations off of the rip in retail alone. And Theifs is not stopping. Aydan, you're going to notice, gets an elimination. Theifs gets yet another knock. They're getting the better end of the stick. OpTic getting tagged up, or at least going residential side, seems to be where less of the people were, but still going to be a close one. Look at how many players still remain landed. 51 engagements still to be had.
Yeah, this is going to be a very high elim game, and like we talked about coming into this match, a lot of them are going to go between all 4 of our players. Without question, the most dominant squad in this current Fortnite match. But one thing that I really liked that we saw from Aydan and Theifs is they're going to go and put down the pyramid and pretty much get all cozy when around the campfire. Is their ability, once it kind of came down to Retail Row, they realized we need to kind of expand our horizons, right? Check the tree line, start to kind of advance forward. They didn't really just stick within Retail Row. They immediately realized the resources around them. And one thing that's nice, any elims that you're finding around the opposite or around the opponents are even more important, because those are kills that you are going to have and eliminations that are guaranteed not to go to the team around you. So, like I said, finding elims around the opposition is so incredibly important, and it's great to see Aydan and Theifs realize that off the start.
Absolutely. 2 talented squads wiping the lobby clean, and they're just going to be Looking for more people. No one's going to be home at this point. So they're going to be trying to get some distance. 9-4. Aydan and Theifs having a significant advantage of 5 total eliminations. They're going to get their mats. They're looking solid. They're going to keep pushing out at this point. As there it is. The Shadowstone's going to wear off, and it is in fact going to be Theifs trying to get this elimination, and that's going to be Aydan picking it up himself, and that's going to put them now a 10-4.
Wow.
As they are just wiping the lobby. And they're going to go ahead and push out towards Dusty, and I'm sure they'll find the team there as well.
I'm absolutely sure that's the case as well, Taylor. But it looks like as the, looks like the new zone is going to be kind of toward the more northern, northeast side of the map. So as it looks like they're going to kind of progress themselves there. We'll see how things go, but keep in mind, Theifs, so the bottom left of our screen has been taken down and thirsted at that. Aydan, welcome to a 1v4 and welcome to potentially an early exit from this game. My prediction might be working strong, but the 1 HP Dream controller in his hand, and Aydan starts to probably shake a little bit, as this is now a very scary situation. Halloween's coming up.
Oh, no,
and
unfortunately,
he couldn't get the med kit off. The door opens as literally
that's 10.
For OG, the dance is coming in. They just took down one of the most talented players all in Fortnite. As now it's going to be the opportunity for OG to progress in this game.
Man.
My OG boys are coming out, Taylor.
Hey, don't you stand up at me like that. Woo! Aydan and Theifs still did solid in the beginning. They had 10 eliminations to finish out at least the first round, but the OpTic boys, they're going to have full reign to the map and full reign to the eliminations, and it's still 10-4 at this point, but they have a lot of work to be done. 6 eliminations isn't easy. Isn't easy, but with that being said, there's still 34 still remaining that they can get. They've got the Shadowstones. Yeah. They're going to be using that for mobility. They're going to be pushing out. An interesting push, though, kind of going towards the crate area, which I don't know how that's going to work out for them, but maybe they know something we don't.
Right now, it's a situation of where they're probably considering the pace, as they're going to go ahead and bunny hop their way into the tree line. It's about the pace. So they want to obviously have a significant lead when it comes out of this, but they don't want to play too aggressive to where we see them drop and not really have anything to account for. So like I said, this is another kind of moment where it's the ability to play in that middle ground, not playing too fast, but not playing too slow. And I think with them going over toward this location, they absolutely could see some fights. And it looks like, according to Marz's screen, he does have one player just outside of crates. Decent builders, but it looks like a shot. Oh, my goodness. A 33-meter snipe out of the build.
He's
and the thirst could come through as well. Dramas having to be very careful about this engagement. How many players are there? And is that sniper still hot for the opposite player? Trying to take the high ground, trying to grab the advantage as the build fight begins to go on. This is the pump shot. However, the trusty SMG is there. The player decides to go ahead and hop on an opposite build, and the structures are still holding them on. But could there be a player? Drama starts to realize that the structures could be taken down at a moment's notice. Marz giving the call out, saying he might try to go and thirst me, and it looks like he tries to get down there, maybe spots him out, and decides to go ahead and go for the res anyway. Does not have that extra build to put it down. And does that player die?
I don't know.
Because they totally engaged and just ignored that guy.
They absolutely did. But I do want to point out something while we figure that out. Marz was going to get fully elim. Dramas, if he didn't apply the pressure like he did on that player who was rushing over to get the full elim, Marz would have been gone. Dramas would have been left in a 1v whatever, a 1vx situation. Now he's able to pick up his teammate with that pressure. That just comes to show you may not get the elim, you may not get the knock, but the pressure alone is enough to keep your partner up. They're looking solid, and I'm excited to see how they're going to be able to get out of this situation. Marz, he doesn't have any bandages as far as I know, or a med kit, but he did have that half pot, passing over a mini at least to give a little bit more padding to his partner Dramas. That team is still up there, so they got to watch out for that. They're going to keep pushing up. It looks like they might split and have like a little split push, but I'm hearing RPGs come in. And the most infuriating way to go down is via an RPG. When you don't even know it's coming. Let's see if they'll get out of this tricky situation.
And I think I heard from Dramas, he said, hey, let's dip. Like, we need to get out of this situation. He doesn't have hardly any mats. There's a squad in front of them who are very talented, and they also have the high ground. So like I said, this is a very awkward spot for these guys. They happen to find a very talented team in the lobby now, as they're going to try to find a few pop shots and, like I said, try to back out of this one.
I want to see the skins, Landon, because I want to see if that's the same squad that knocked Aydan and Theifs out, because that's not a far area for them to kind of go towards,
Yeah.
especially after getting those eliminations. So I'm curious if that's the same team. They didn't get the elims, did they? They're just kind of pushing out.
Yeah, and I think this is a very smart play for them to make. Don't try to engage, especially when you don't have confidence in your resources. And as it looks like the resources will start to kind of fall a little bit for this opposite team. The double shots coming in as the shots from afar also start to echo out. The knock hasn't come in yet from Marz. This player is still alive despite being low on HP. The rockets start to fly as well. The high ground is gained too. There goes Dramas trying to survive the shots, and now Marz all up to him. The advantage that they had could easily go away in a moment's notice as the shots start to come through, finding quite a bit of HP, but they will get taken down inside of crates. They can't even make it to a normal POI without getting taken down, as that was a huge moment for the green wall, a huge moment for OG to take this game, to take that massive advantage that you have, but unfortunately it slips.
Yep, 10-4. That's going to be the score going into.
I was so excited. I was
know.
so hyped.
You know, they had a huge potential to make that comeback possible. Unfortunately, that team was just a lot to handle, and they were pushing incredibly strong. Obviously, the lack of mats didn't help either in that situation, so there's not a lot you can do. But, hey, they still have yet another game to do. But
And by the way, shout out to that guy who called they would all die off the break. Granted, they didn't die exactly off the shot, but you got pretty much 3 out of 4. I'll give that to you, whoever that was.
They didn't get a victory royale.
They did. But you got to admit, Aydan and Theifs, they don't really escape pretty much out of one POI.
That is true.
For the OG guys, they make it what? They land retail,
go
they
crates,
go immediately
and that was
to crates. And that was pretty much it. So, yeah, I don't know.
You know, that's how the cookie crumbles. That's what they say. So, I don't know. Game 2 is going to be an interesting one. I know a lot of people predicted a high-scoring game. I don't think it's going to be too high-scoring, but you never know. 10-4 is going to be it. 6 eliminations down is OpTic, and that's a considerable amount. That's a squad, and at least a little over a squad, depending on if it's a full squad. So, they have a lot of work to be done, not to mention Aydan and Theifs. They might stay up the entire game, so they're going to have their backs against the wall. But if anybody could do it, the boys in green, they can go forward and bring the OpTic wall and kind of take out the members pushing forward. But I'm looking at the bus drop, and Tilted is in the line of sight for both sides.
It's right over Tilted, too.
It is
you
right
couldn't ask for a better
over
drop
Tilted.
if you want to go toward Tilted. This is a very interesting spot right now, as I'm sure all 4 of our players are desperately thinking about it.
Maybe Shifty, too.
Yeah, Shifty. You got Pleasant Park. That could be an option, even if you want to go toward the floating island. That's a position as well. But it looks like all 4 players are going to drop out significantly early, and it looks like they're all going to have their eyes, on Pleasant Park. So yet again, back-to-back games, not going toward Pleasant Park necessarily, but in back-to-back games, they're all going to the exact same spot. Salty Springs last game, or Retail Row, last game, now in toward Pleasant. As you can hear the call coming through from Theifs, there are so many players here as things are about to get interesting here early and quick, Taylor.
I'm looking at this, and I'm kind of laughing internally because I remember just the match or a couple matches before, Brett Phillips and Trevor May screaming, just run away, just run away in that situation. And that was kind of where we were just a little bit before. I don't see Aydan or Theifs or the OpTic boys running away. They're just going to go in full send. And I saw at least 3 eliminations now for the OpTic boys to chip away at that 6 elimination deficit. They're still going to be down 4 as it looks like Theifs was able to pick up 1 himself. But a solid start nonetheless, as they're doing much the same thing they did in retail. They're clearing out Pleasant.
There are indeed quite a few eliminations to find, but they've got to be very careful about their life. One player drops, and especially when it comes into Pleasant Park, you can definitely see some pretty thirsty opponents when it comes down to this particular location. But as we start to see all 4 players hop throughout the map, the stink bombs are out, and it's really just a matter of kill racing at this current point in the game. All eliminations are important, as it looks like it is going to be an elimination that's found from Marz. At the same time, a few shots from the assault rifle of Aydan. And it's really just kind of taking over these houses, as this has got to be a very scary moment for anybody who's hiding in one of these bathrooms or one of these locations. That is no longer a living room.
I love how they're just feverishly trying to just get as many mats as possible, hitting walls, hitting floors, and they're just bursting through these houses just as a wrecking crew would. And you notice they're all fighting for these kills, but Theifs, he's going to be dropped. Aydan now has to go big. Does he go for the res? Does he keep pushing forward for the eliminations? The call-out seems as though Aydan, he's going to push forward. Theifs seems like he's going to be okay. Nobody's around him to get the full elimination, but that leaves Aydan now in a 1x situation. But if anybody could do it, I guess it could be him. He's going to be getting that high ground, pushing up. He still has a couple of mats, so he's going to be okay there. Of course, OpTic is going to be just on the other side of that modern house, but luckily Aydan is going to get one. He's going to get one knock. Where's the other one? Just up above him, and there it is. That's the elimination coming in, and that was Aydan and Dramas who are going to split that. So it's looking like a total score of 5 eliminations for the OpTic boys and a total of 5 for Aydan and Theifs. So they're going to keep their 6 elimination lead. OpTic still needs to make this comeback.
Yeah, and I will say for Aydan in that situation, I would have probably done the exact same thing. Maybe given Theifs a little bit more cover just because he's pretty much standing by one wall of that wood resource. But still, man, I got to say, I respect the play. I think that was the smart play to make, and thankfully he does find one elimination out of the entire thing. So they will live on. Theifs not out of this one yet, but that definitely kind of halts progression whenever your teammate goes down and you have such a big team fight in front of you. You don't want to lose that pace, and you don't want to lose that kind of race that you have going on at that point in the match. But still, Theifs back up, going to go on and grab a well, I think that was that big pot to get back up to 80 overall HP. But despite that, though, Aydan and Theifs, 6 elim advantage with about 44 players left alive in the lobby.
And one good thing that OpTic did, they didn't waste any time looting any more than they needed to. Yeah, they're getting some mats as they progress forward, but they're already going to be next to the floating island. There's probably going to be some people still up there. Might even be some people in factories. Marz is going to be building up towards that. But I love how they got that separation between Aydan and Theifs. They knew at that point Aydan was going to have to go back. He was going to have to pick up Theifs. That was going to waste some time to give them some extra space and time to get these eliminations down. Drama's already getting started. He gets the knock. Full elim coming in from Marz. More players still around. There's probably going to be players inside of these factory buildings, but also on top of that floating island, so they could close the gap right here, especially if Aydan and Theifs keep looting up. I know they were at gas. They were going to be pushing forward, but we're going to kind of maybe potentially see a split. One is going to be pushing out. That's going to be Drama. He's going to be going on top of that island, and Marz, he's just going to be looking for these people in factories. Not a bad strategy.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm really glad that you mentioned it, because this is a huge point in the game for OG. Since they, like you said, move forward, they're taking away potential opportunities that the Aydan and Theifs could possibly have. The only location from Pleasant Park really is factories in toward Tilted Tower, and what a shot from Dramas, as that player, unfortunately, is going to be dropped in mid-air and does not hardly miss a bullet with that trusty Scar, as that's, like I said, going to be a full elimination, and a big worry for Aydan and Theifs is they're going to have to try to venture out somewhere, maybe have to try to make longer of a journey, because OG are on one heck of a run.
Definitely are, and you know that separation was incredibly important. They had at least a lead in the beginning. Now it's starting to dwindle away. You notice Theifs, Aydan, they're going to be there. OpTic, if I'm them, I may be pushing out, maybe splitting up this point, but they know there's a player that at least went to the top of this house, so he's going to have the high ground. At this point, Dramas needs to be a little bit careful, but there he is. He's actually going to be bandaging in the corner, not where you want to be. He's going to get a quick elimination, and look at that. They're, what, sitting at, what, I believe it was 6 or a little bit more. They're at 8. They're a total of 8, and then we look on the left, and Aydan and Theifs, they're sitting at 5, so only 3 elimination difference now separates the 2, and OpTic, they're already pushing out.
Yeah, and like I said, we got to give them a huge credit for constantly being in the lead. They realized their position was pretty much a good one, right? When you have the ability to see players first, you have to expound upon it. And like I said, that's a fantastic strategy from OG, and the reason why they are starting to cut away at this advantage for the opposite squad. But it looks like for Marz, he's going to maybe take a little bit of a trip toward Dusty at the same time that is currently where Aydan and Theifs are making their progression toward as well. As based off the big pot that just happens to be sitting.
I don't think it's been looted.
Yeah, the big pot that's pretty much just sitting on the back end of that truck. You could argue maybe not fully looted, if looted at all here in Dusty.
Yeah, it might not be, and that's kind of rare to see, but it's always a blessing because you know you're going to get some good loot. And being 3 eliminations up, Aydan can kind of take his time and, you know, come in. Theifs, though, he's going to be by himself. I know he just saw some players. I think there was at least 2 of them. Portafort's going to go down. He's not even going to use it. He's going to use it as bait. I think he's going to try and get the high ground on top of the house. Not a bad strategy. But no, he's going to go ahead and drop down. He knows a player just got eliminated. Luckily, he's going to be right behind this Red Riding Hood. Gets at least a tap with the shotgun. pushing forward. This player is going to be going up, and that is a big loss. He wanted to connect so much, and unfortunately, he's not going to get it. You hear the frustration in his voice. Now he's got to go up. He's already lost at least the ability to get that high ground, and now he's got a team just above him. I think there's 3 people on that floating island.
Yeah, he's got to be very careful because if Theifs dies in this spot, you could argue that could be the game. However, Aydan on the opposite end takes down one and has the ability with the high ground advantage to take down a second one, and he will do exactly that. Big moment from Aydan. Takes the kill right out from underneath the OG boys. As for Theifs' kind of mishap, essentially, not finding the original Elim, that's going to be big for them to try to hold on and maintain this advantage. At the same time, though, speaking on the topic of Theifs, as he's desperately trying to fish for this kill, hoping and making sure the Storm doesn't find this elimination. This is a very scary spot.
You see the smile from Dramas as he's driving Aydan around currently, who's on the back. So Aydan at this point can pop shots. Drama's going to have to find a way to ditch him off of this if they find a team. Of course, using that wrecker to push through. Love the addition of it, man. You could just totally take down buildings with it. And Dr. Lupo scored what? How many million points?
It's like 35 million.
It's insane. Like, I don't even know how you can do that. But if anybody could do it, it's Dr. Lupo.
It's 65 million.
65 million, so double that. And, man, that's crazy. Love the addition of it. With that being said, though, Theifs, he's not slowing down. He's actually just going to be on the outside. Before I saw him in the water, he's on the outside now just dinging shots. And, you know, hey, trusty suppressed Scar, but he's running out of bullets. He's running out of bullets. He's running out of mats. So he could find himself in a very dire situation, especially if this team pushes up.
I will say I love that play from Theifs, though, because essentially he's in a pretty awkward spot. He realizes he has one squad in front of him, and like I said, the one team is pretty much playing a gatekeeper role. So what does he do? He takes the storm damage. It's worth it in his book because he has that ability to take the wind tunnel to progress himself to have that advantage yet again as far as having a closer spot toward that zone. So smart play coming through from Theifs on one end, and on the opposite end we see ourselves in a little bit of a build fight just over top here of Fatal Fields. It looks like in the middle of a res, it's going to be Dramas, who does spoil the party. At the same time, like you mentioned, Taylor, Aydan also finds an Elim as well. So a constant kill race coming through, and it looks like that four-wheeler sitting inside of Fatal Fields. It's going to give them quite a bit of an advantage here over the competition.
10 on the left, 11 on the right, and that still means, hey, it's going to be a 5 elimination lead for Aydan and Theifs. The kills are dwindling away. We're looking at a total of 19 eliminations still remaining. And a lot of the players are using their mobility. Theifs, like you said, still in that engagement, but he's down to 6 total bullets with his AR, and he's running away from the storm with a team right behind him. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to pick any of them off. So with that being said, he's got a lot of ground to cover. He's basically, at this point, going to be worthless because he's running away from the storm. So now Aydan, he's got to pick up a lot of eliminations, but he took some damage actually getting ran over just a little bit. He's got to pop down. He could go down, and there it is. Aydan's going to be fully eliminated, and if anything, not now, at least later, Theifs, he's not going to have a chance to get there. This is a big opportunity for OpTic, Landon.
And for OG, right, they don't have to ignore this elimination. They don't have to worry about potentially saving Aydan's life. Reason being, Theifs is nowhere near to get that res off, and at the same time, Aydan does get thirsted. OG, yet again, another huge opportunity to expound upon the fact that one, if not two players are down. Theifs has to make a race right now. He is running for his life, and this is such a big moment right now for OG to try to capitalize on. It looks like for Theifs, though, as he's in the middle of trying to run away, he happens to spot a squad who is on the run. Like we said, no more shots left in the assault rifle. Only 18 left in the SMG, which is pretty much the only weapon he could use at this type of range. At the same time, though, Dramas is using that very trusty quad launcher to find a few eliminations as well. But it looks like one player decides to hop on the four-wheeler. It gets taken down. A huge moment for Theifs as he'll at least walk away with one, but to no avail. Not a whole lot of players left, and OG can't afford to lose any of them.
You talk about insane luck just on the other side before that player was able to dip out. Now he's got AR bullets. He has a couple of mats. He was running low on that. Now he's at 4 and 5. He's looking solid. He's going to be dipping out of there. He's like, Drama Marz, you know what? We have the lead. You can take this. I'm getting inside the circle because I know they have to push in. Meanwhile, Marz, they're not going to be slowing down. Not only are they racing against the storm, they're also racing to get these players eliminated, but that player has some great mobility. He's going to have the high ground, and unfortunately messes up his build just a little bit. Now he's going to have to deviate just over to the other side. This is a couple of big eliminations. A knock comes in with the quad launcher. Can they keep it going?
Yeah, OG on the hunt, having to keep in mind their flank, though. Players just toward the western side are expiring a few shots. Dramas does find the elimination, trying to get this game even closer as he and Marz will also find a second kill as well. But they do not stop here. One player just above him with the high ground, and now it's time for Dramas to show off that building and that editing skill that he's worked on for hours. Looking, seeking, desperately trying to find these. It looks like Theifs, though, will also find an elim too. Back and forth we go. Blows being exchanged back and forth, and only 4 elims remaining.
Oh, no, and look at that Marz. He's going to get dropped. Drama's pushing up the mountain. If he can get these eliminations, that might put them just ahead to take over the lead or at least win this total game. It is going to matter. All eliminations matter at this point. You notice getting that high ground, did a phenomenal job. Now he's got to find the player just below him. I think he actually just built over that player who was trying to push up.
Yeah.
With that being said, he doesn't have time to go for the res. At this point, it's currently a 1v1 situation. If he can spam through and get that elim, which he does, that is huge. He's sitting at 9 for himself. And now you notice Theifs, he's going to be pushing out, and he's going to be on Ice Cream Mountain trying to find any of the players just below, and something just disappeared inside that building.
Yeah.
Was that him destroying one of the spiders, or is somebody down there? We're going to find out.
Seeking out where these final few players could be. It comes down to this, a 1v1 to decide who will make it to the semifinals. The green wall facing off against Theifs and Aydan, and the question remains, the res could come in from Dramas, but also that would be an awkward situation because in the time that it takes to get this res off, that gives an opportunity for Theifs to roam throughout the map. The quad,
I don't like it.
I gotta say it, man, the quad is on the ground. They could take it.
But it's going to ticket so much.
It is, and it looks like, I believe the Shadowstone is grabbed here for Theifs. So he's going to have a huge advantage right now alongside the map. If he finds one more elimination, this game is done. And the fact that OG decides to go for the res, you could argue whether or not it's a good position or a good idea or not.
I don't like
they
it.
do give a huge advantage for Theifs to roam around the map first.
Yep, Theifs. Look how much ground he has.
Yeah, and as long as he bunny hops too.
He's so far ahead. Now, mind you, yeah, he does have the distance. But now it's all about how he utilizes it. He needs to get these eliminations. Like you said, he only needs one to seal the deal. Or if one of the players randomly dies, maybe it's two totally different teams. If anybody gets eliminated at this point from the enemies, that's it. And OpTic is going to be eliminated. A lot rides on the line at this point. Nobody's been spotted as of yet. You hear the frustration. Theifs, he's pushed out. And now no one's going to be home as of yet. Peering off into the distance, nobody there. But you hear factories. I believe Dramas as well as Marz has spotted at least one of them. That might mean 2 are there. You notice that res may have been beneficial. They split up, and now this is going to be it. Will Dramas be able to get this elimination? One player is, in fact, just up ahead. I spotted him. There he is. Justified. Both of them were there. This is huge for Dramas. Will he be able to get this? But no, the players built over him. These players could, in fact, be decent. He's going to go up, doing the angles, and unfortunately, he keeps Harry Pottering himself. But there he is. Players just up ahead. He's going to take massive damage. 50 total health remaining. Will he be able to get this? He's the only one here. If he goes down, he still has a chance, of course, with Marz coming through.
The trap!
There it is. The trap goes down, and he's going to go down. And now Theifs, he's going to be there. Will Theifs be able to get it? He's the closest one. Marz is going to be just behind. We're going to see the RPGs coming into play. And there's a knock!
But he has to get it. He has to find it. All he's trying to do is fire the rocket, and can he find it? And there it is!
OG's out of the tournament!
What a play from Theifs as drama goes down. The green wall will fall. One rocket to rule them all as that's going to launch them into the next round. My word. What a game, Taylor.
That was
for the tie.
That was for the tie. That was for the tie.
Drama's had it.
That is literally, if he picks up this elimination, I believe, yeah, that's a 1 elimination game as far as I know.
Oh my God.
You hear 18 to 17. That's a 1 elimination game. I don't know if I can take any more of this. From the first game where we saw OG playing against Brett Phillips and Trevor May, that was a close one. I was like, all right, maybe we're starting off a little bit strong. We just got even stronger. This is only round number 2, but my boys are moving forward. I know a lot of the chat.